folks, today we are talking about a card that might still be lost somewhere in your bulk pile. It's a newer card that doesn't carry much weight in standard, but with the expanded pool on PTCGL, it actually pulls off some surprisingly fun tricks. So let's see what this spiky pumpkin unicorn cactus has up its sleeve. Alright, so here's the deck list. This is a deck I personally put together for the current expanded format on PTCGL. In the top left corner, we've got our draw engine, Squawk, Oricorio, and Fez. Squawk is super important on the first turn because it helps us get rid of a bricked hand and dig deeper into the deck, which is a huge part if you are trying to set up for a long. Squawk can actually one-shot 70 HP basic Pokémon. All it takes is a combo of Binding Mochi attached to him, and poison coming in from Brute Bonnet, and for sure his attack. Oricorio and Fezandipiti have similar abilities. You draw 3 cards if your Pokémon got knocked out during your opponent's last turn. The main differences are their HP, typing, and that Fezandipiti can snipe on the bench and give us some extra reach. Next up we've got our super Pokémons. First on the photo is Brute Bonnet. He is our enabler of the poison, dong potential, activates Binding Mochi, and he puts damage counters on the board. A big piece of the combo that enables our deck to attack is Shaymin. Its ability Floral Heal lets us heal our Maractus while it's in the active spot. You will later find out why that's important. Alright, now it's time to talk about our attackers. First up is Pecharunt. This little guy is what lets us pull off a first turn donk on our opponents. Plus, if a poison Pokémon attacks us, we can promote Pecharunt and deal 6 poison damage. This damage usually fixes our mat after we attack with Maractus. Radiant Charizard, our late game attacker. Normally it hits for 250, but thanks to our poison package we can push the damage up to 300. And technically, if we go all in, we can hit up to 350 in a single turn. That's by combining Radiant Charizard with Binding Mochi. A poisoned opponent's active Pokémon stays in the active spot, it attacks us, and then we promote Pecharunt. And finally, we've got our main attacker, Maractus, or as I like to call him, the pumpkin unicorn cactus. Its first and main attack, Lively Needles, does 20 damage for 1 Grass Energy. But if Maractus was healed during that turn, the attack does 100 more damage. And if Maractus is poisoned and has Binding Mochi attached, suddenly we're hitting for 170 damage total. Now I know what you're probably thinking. This attack sounds insane. How do we even meet the requirements? How do we get damage onto Maractus, and how do we heal it? Well, don't worry, I've got a couple of answers for you. So let's start with how we get damage onto our Pokémon. One of the easiest ways is with Stadium Gapejaw Bog. Every time we put a Pokémon from our hand onto our bench, it takes 2 damage counters. This works perfectly with Quick Ball or Hisuian Heavy Ball. Another option is our Special Energy Rainbow Energy. When we attach it to our Pokémon, we place 1 damage counter on them. The cool part is that we can even attack with Brute Bonnet or Oricorio-GX, because Rainbow Energy is always every type of energy, even when there are 2 or 3 or 4 attached to one Pokémon. We can also use Poison or Burn damage to stack damage counters on our Pokémon. Spicy Season Curry is an awesome card in this deck. First of all, it heals 40 damage from our Pokémon, which is very useful for the Maractus, and then it leaves us burned, which means we are guaranteed to take 2 damage counters. That's great, because we are setting up for another swing with Maractus, so we then have some damage counters to be able to heal. The same also does Poison. When we poison our Maractus, we can then heal him with either another Spicy Season Curry or Shaymin's ability Floral Heal. I would like to point out one very specific card in this deck, and it's Damage Pump that helps us move around damage, which we put mostly from Gapejaw Bog onto our Pokemon into the Maractus, so we already have the damage and we just need to heal and the energy. We play very usual supporter lineup. For Arven, 3 Iono, 1 Boss, 1 Carmine. Carmine is there especially if we want to be aggressive on our first turn, going first, trying to dog our opponent, and with Squawkabilly and Carmine we can go really deep into our deck. Then we play 3 Night Stretcher, 1 Super Rod, 2 Counter Catcher, 2 Switches especially in case they want to trap our Brute Bonnet. In that case we also play 1 Air Balloon that helps us with mobility. We play 1 Earthen Vessel to find the basic energies with our Arven. I decided to play Secret Box in this deck because we have a lot of pieces we need to combine in order to get what we want in that turn. I think I provided you enough of basic information about the combo pieces, about why are we playing certain cards. And now I would like to jump into some gameplay. This is the way I usually train and learn about the deck. It's just me against myself, just thinking about certain scenarios that can happen and how I could react to them. I think it's a very efficient way because you are not limited by time constrictions like on PTCGL. You're mastering your skills with real physical cards. During this, let's say, testing, I like to keep the prices up so everyone knows what's not available, and it also saves me time not to price check for every card. In this situation, we are going first. We're trying to get the best board state we can get possibly, and Squawk and Carmine really carry us. When you will see dices on my prize cards, the dices are saying to you how many prizes have opponent left. Then on the right you have Stadium, which is in play, that is the active Pokemon, and then right to the active Pokemon, not on it, but right, there are damage counters that I'm saying to you how much damage is on opponent's board. Spicy Season Curry in play, how it healed 40 and put us to burn. I'm not flipping coin because let's say our opponent just knocks our Maractus out. Just like we were talking in the beginning, Maractus, poisoned Maractus with Binding Mochi dealt 160 damage and poison tick for 10. So total 170. The damage we make with Maractus is usually enough for Pecharunt to finish some 2 pressure in the play. So we just beat that. During this so-called testing, I would try not to talk the whole time. I would just spill some information randomly throughout the next 5 minutes, and so we can deeply focus on what's happening on the board. Fezandipiti is one of the best cards in current standard format because it provides power for draw engine after we fall a bit behind because our Pokemon has been knocked out. And we have technically 2 Fez on the board and we draw 6 cards every time we fall a bit behind if we talk about the prizes, because they need to knock our Pokemons out to take the prizes. And pretty much in 4-5 turns we can get through the whole deck because we use other cards to also grab other cards from our deck. This is how then we get into a situation where even Iono doesn't do anything to us because the whole deck is available for us. must state that I use proxies for this because there is no real reason for me to buy and to pay for shipping of Oricorio-GX, for example, or Rainbow Energies when I can just print them out from Limitless. Here I didn't just discard the Fezandipiti, they, let's say, both knocked out one of our Pokémons, they got 2 prizes, and now it's for us to finish the game. Now we got a little bit lucky because we got Radiant Charizard and Rainbow Energy, which is like what we are looking for, but there are not many cards in the deck left, so the chances are pretty high. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, I would really appreciate if you drop a follow or subscribe to my YouTube channel. It helps a ton and it keeps me making more fun decks like this one. So, thanks for watching and I will catch you in the next one.